Hi Jazz, how you doing? This is your intro for your first training block. So in this video, I'm going to go over everything that you need to know before you start this next 6-week program. So I'm going to be going over your goals that I've set. I'm going to be going over your program. I'm going to go over your nutrition. I'm going to go over your periodization and just a few little bits and bats to do with the app. So to start with, just having a look at your goals and what we'd like to achieve in the next week. If you want to find where this is, just go to coaching, text documents, and block 1 goals, and that's where they are. Starting on the Monday, the 1st, so tomorrow, and ending on 6th of the 7th in July. So you're around 87 kilos now, and we're looking to lose around 0.5 kilos. So on kilos of body weight a week, so aim to be around 81 to 84. So I've just sort of said, fit into all clothes if you've got any like that, feel good in what you're wearing, that kind of stuff. Now with that data, we can work out what calories we need, what kind of deficit we need to be creating to achieve that, and that'll all be within your nutrition. I think your health markers are probably very good at the moment, but if we can improve health metrics when we get some data, that'd be great, and just improve overall health and mental health, etc. I think what'll be good next time, you'll see when we get to the periodization, to maybe start going into more of a specialized block. At the moment, this block is very much about what we call metabolic conditioning and just general training, getting fitter, stronger and faster. And then when we move on to our next block, we can maybe go on something a little bit more specific, something that's a little bit more quantitative in terms of tracking, then we can go from there. And your goal is obviously to be super fit for your training. Now, habit goals, what you'll see on your diary every single day, there'll be a marble test. Now, this is essentially just a good way to track consistency. So thinking about moving 1 marble from one bowl to the other, if you start with 42 in one, you have to try and move around 38 to the opposite side in the next 42 days. So if you do everything that has been said, so you hit your calorie target, done your training, had the sleep that you need for that night, you have to essentially move 1 marble over. Now, obviously, you don't have to do it physically because we've set it up on here. And what we can see after that is just to see how consistent you are. There's definitely a correlation between those that are more consistent to those that get results. I know it sounds obvious, but tracking that is often a really good way of seeing why you didn't get results at the end of the 6 weeks. And your goal is just to change eating structure, start prioritizing quality food, and so on. Now, if possible, maybe think of a reason why that you're doing this, and that can be between you, and that's like your little motivation that you need to tell yourself every single time that you're not feeling motivated or you're not feeling like you're prioritizing training. On top of my head, what I think would be sort of your reason why is the fact that you obviously want to be the best fighter you can be. And that is, for me, a good enough reason for you to be consistent with your training. But you might think of something else, and you can share that with me or keep that to yourself. That's fine. Now, I put picture taken at the bottom. So if possible, can you take a picture to start with? You get a reminder of that every week anyway. And that will show you, obviously, that will show you if you've progressed or not as we go along, as well as the other metrics such as weight, etc. So that's your goals. Next, what I'm quickly going to show you is the nutrition that we've set up with that. So my favourite way of doing nutrition is to track your food. So if you download MyFitnessPal, which is the app that you need, and just try and track as closely as possible. So it's hard to be completely perfect, but just be wary of what you're eating, especially if you're making the meals from my app. Then you can just track straight onto there. Now, lots of people find it hard to track. So if you don't worry. The tracking just gives us control, and with control, it means we can manage what we do. So data is good to have. If you find that it's not realistic, some kind of tracking mechanism, whether it's just writing down what you're eating, sending me a voice note with what you're eating, send me a picture of what you're eating, that's fine. But the best is if you actually give me the numbers, and we can also integrate MyFitnessPal onto this app as well. Okay, so just trying to get into a good habit, even if we just do it for the next 6 weeks, where we can be as consistent as possible. So I've given you an average around 1,800 to 2,200 a day, working out just from the data you've given me how much calories you need. Now I reckon if you to eat 1,800 a day, you'd lose around 1 kilo of fat a week, which is quite a lot. And if you do it around 2,200 or 2,300, you'd be losing about half of fat a week. If you want to know how I've worked that out, there is a video that I can send you which basically explains the maths behind it. But if not, you just want to trust me and just go along with the progress, that's totally fine as well. Now protein, try and hit 100 grams if possible every day. Now you'll see on your app, that's around sort of 2 chicken breasts and a protein shake maybe. But just make sure you get protein every meal and you should hit it. What I would say is that we have a range on purpose to maintain flexibility, to maintain food choices, and to sort of go, if we need to, I've got like, if we have a sort of social event, we can up our calories, and if we don't, we can lower them a little bit as well. Now, if you want to just read rationale behind nutrition, you can do. It's all there, as well as behaviour state that you need for your nutrition and how to eat to maintain your current goal. I've written that all out. If you want to go through, you can do as well. So that's your nutrition. Now I have got a nutrition video for you to watch if you want to go into it a little more detail, and this wasn't the one I was just referencing to. This one is in your, let me just have a quick look, it should be in your videos here. So if you go to module nutrition part 1, this is a video that you can watch and so on, and it's all in there, and it'll come up, and it's the same here. Module 2, module 3, evidence-based coaching, and there is another video that I need to put on here which you can watch as well. So from here we have your spreadsheets. So if we come to here, okay, this is your Google Docs, and this is more for me just to see where you're up to when we need to have a chat. So we're starting on the week 1st, and then we're finishing on the 6th of the 7th. So that's a 6-week plan. Strength is metabolic structure. Conditioning is intervals and sort of conditioning, as you'll see. Nutrition, slightly low carb if possible, and a deficit. Supplementation, fish oils, vitamin D, multivitamin and creatine. Now I will send you the link that you can buy for those, but I'll sort of keep that up to you, leave that up to you, because I know there's a lot to sort of go off. It's not the most important thing, but if you want to know where I get them from, I can either buy them in for you, or I can send you the links to where I get them from as well. So as much as anything, the periodization is just so we can plan going forward. So for example, this is the phase we're in now. As we move on, we can get into more specialization phase, and say if we've got a competition here, we can plan backwards. So if we've got a competition sort of around here, okay, a fight around there, then we can really start to, so I'm not sure what's going on here, then we can really start to plan backwards from where we are, just like any kind of plan. Okay, coming back from here and through all of that. So every single day you'll get a email which will tell you what you're doing for the day, and it will tell you what your schedule is. Now, to keep this training as simple as possible, just try and do everything that is on your schedule and just tick them as you go along. So for example, block goals, it'll tell you what you are. I like to have a reminder of them. Just tick to say that you've read it, and it will tell me that you've done it, and I get a notification every time that you do. Here, it'll say update results tracking, update food diary, update food diary. I've done that twice on purpose just to make sure that, throughout the day, you get another reminder at the end. The marble test, it'll say here, tick this if you've done at least 4 of the following. And this is done your steps, hit your protein, slept 7 to 9 hours a week, completed your workout, etc. Now, with your steps, just try and do as many as you can, especially with trying to lose body fat. But if you can aim to around 10,000 a day, that is perfect. And then this just continues like so throughout, and it will just do the same thing. Now, if you miss a workout, don't worry about it. Just swap it to another day and just fill it in as that day. So, for example, if you do workout 2 on Thursday, just go back to it, and that's fine. Just fill in the data accordingly. Now, every Friday, there's a weekly check-in. Now, I don't remind people to do this because this is what the email does. this is where you get the best feedback. So this is where you can ask me questions that you want me to answer. This is sort of your official check-in to see where you're doing. So try and make this a big priority. So we go onto here and it will ask you different questions regarding nutrition, habits, training, and so on. Sign at the bottom and then go from there. Now I will look at this every week and I can see how you're doing, etc. Of course, I will be in contact throughout the week, but if you can sort of keep the official questions to then, it just keeps everything a little bit more organized and structured, and sort of stops things being less messy. But obviously part of the coaching is 24/7 contact time. So if you do need to give me a text or a call, please do so, but try and sort of leave the main questions till there so I can give a decent answer when I'm sort of prioritizing and categorizing that time to your reviews. From here, okay, it's just the same throughout, and then on a Sunday you have your progress photos. Go onto here, add a photo, and you just take a photo like so. Now, the last thing is if we go onto your programs, this is your blocks. This is what you're doing for the next 6 weeks. Now, some things have progressions, some things don't. So, for example, if I go into workout 1, this is just a standard strength and conditioning circuit. So here, what we do, we'd have the goblet squat, and you just need to follow it exactly as the app says. So 20 reps, 60-second rest. Sorry, ignore that I said 60 seconds. Rest 20 seconds, move on to the next. Time 60 seconds, 20 seconds rest, move on to the next. And just go through it. Just don't overcomplicate it. Just follow exactly what all the variables say. So reps 15 seconds. Shouldn't have time here. Ignore that. I thought I'd taken that off. Ignore the time. Reps 15. Intensity 8 out of 10. That basically means an 8 out of 10 effort. So it's got to be hard. So if you need to slow things down, you can. Rest 20 seconds. Move on to the next one. If at any chance you need to know what you're doing in the exercise, take a look at the video and it will show you how to do it. It'll just give you an example of what you're doing and then back down again. As you can see, he's not moving because that is a static exercise. Same here. If you want to watch the exercise, just go on and you go through the workout all the way through. If you want a quick edition, just go onto the top and that'll show you what you're doing there. Going back from this, at the end, as you can see, 3 runs on treadmills, and that's an interval that you can do 180 seconds on, and then as much time off until recovery, and then you're going again. Now, all I'd just try and say is try and track the distance that you go for each one each week on here, and then you can basically compare that week to week. The most important thing is intensity, so just train hard. Here, it's just another full body workout. And here it's a long bike ride, and workout 4 is more of a metabolic conditioning thing. Now, if you do need any questions, just give me a shout. But as I've said, all the exercises have a video of what you need to do on each one. Follow the form. And also, if you've got any questions, generally the answer will be in here in the instructions as well. Moving on, you've got things like frog jumps, 10-meter sprints, stepper skis. Again, all of this is specific to what you're trying to achieve with your goals. Going backwards from here, this will last for 6 weeks. And what you'll see is that each week I've progressed the workouts. So for example, if we have a look at Monday tomorrow, we go to your workout that you want to do here. If we go into your workout, start workout, it says here you've got 20 reps to do. And next Monday, moving on to Monday the 8th, I will have progressed that, to 22 reps, as you can see. So we have got some kind of progression, and that goes on throughout. Some things have progressed, some things I haven't. The most important thing is just to get the workouts done, track your food, and so on. So if you've got any questions on how the app works, have a good play around with it. If you want to, there's all sorts of things that you can do. I see everything that you do on this app. If you've got any questions, just give me a shout. The most important thing is just have a play with it, and you'll sort of start to see what you need to do. Watch the module videos if you can. That'll just give you a little bit more information. But as I said, most important thing is read the email, do what's said on the list, and prioritize your training and nutrition. Give me a shout if you've got any questions.